We're very, very honored to have these two gentlemen join us here for the very first Chamber on Tap. The word Zender Ford and Spruce Grove are synonymous, and really excited to get to know these two fine gentlemen. Please welcome Chad and Ken Zender. Let's start off. Ken, 1984, Zender Ford becomes in here to Spruce Grove. Tell us the history. What made you want to get into the car business and take over from Fuhrer Motors?
Well, it was really interesting. What happened then is actually happening today. Because in 1982 and 1983 were the last couple of years of Pierre Trudeau's national energy policy. And what had happened in Spruce Grove is the dealership, Fuhrer Ford, was very tied into heavy trucks and oil and gas, and they weren't doing that well. And luckily, I was a younger guy, a manager from Mack Trucks in Edmonton, and Ford came to me and said, this dealership isn't doing well, and hopefully you got some money, do you want to take a chance? So I took a chance and bought it, and today, we're doing the same thing with what's happening in the oil and gas business. It's amazing.
Much of that, when you're doing your business, how much does it come from gut instinct compared to doing your research?
Well, it's amazing over my business career. We've had 3 different dealerships. Most of it's instinct. And some works out and some doesn't. But you got to take a chance. If you don't shoot the gun, you'll never hit the duck.
I like
so
that.
You give it a try.
I like that. That's very good. So, Chad, for you, when Dad takes over a car dealership, was that something that was always kind of in your blood, the plan to kind of follow in the family steps, or was there something else that you wanted to pursue?
It wasn't growing up. It was in the blood. I worked in the dealership when I was younger for many years. Went away to university, and actually I was working in the finance industry for a little bit. But the pull of the car industry and just being in a business drew me back. I wanted to be, once you get the gasoline in your blood, it's really difficult to get it out. Being an entrepreneur is something that basically that's what I wanted to do.
Your brother and sister Shane and Cody are a part of the business as well, and you guys have given back so much into Spruce Grove through various charities and the way that you've basically had the Zender Ford set up. Now, you've often said, Chad, that you want to make Zender Ford the #1 dealership in Alberta. How does one do that? What do you need to do to get to that level?
Well, our philosophy is we have a vision at the company, and that's to be the best amongst our peers. It's not necessarily being #1 in sales, it's just to be the best when related to someone else.
Let's talk, Ken, here about Rotary. Rotary was a big part of your life, still is today. What was the appeal of Rotary to you, and what was it about that charity aspect that really made you want to get involved?
Well, I come from a small town in Stettler, Alberta, and my dad was the president of the Rotary Club in Stettler. When I was 11 years old, he took us to the Rotary International Convention in St. Louis, Missouri, which was a big thing. And so I got a little bit of Rotary in my blood. And when we got going in Spruce Grove, I actually was joined and was a member of the Mayfield Rotary Club for many years because I worked for Mack Trucks in Edmonton. And when we came out here, to run in there all the time seemed to be a lot of work. So I got together with Jared Lavassier, who you all know, and we founded the Spruce Grove Rotary Club. And today I think it's a very active, going together club. Rotary is a great organization to fund a lot of different projects and help a lot of people and help the city.
Nowadays, generational family businesses are pretty rare. You don't see a lot of people taking up what their parents were doing, but having them go out and experience life, having them go out and experience different ways of doing things, and then coming back really makes Zender Ford stronger, any business stronger.
And we're really thrilled that his brother and Chad and his sister all went somewhere else. They all got their education, which my wife Judy and I really believe in. We didn't encourage them to get involved in the car business. They all went and did other things, and then when they decided they might like to get involved in the car business, we insisted they work for other dealers, which they did, and then they came home and they started a program that I thought was beneficial for their growth, and we're thrilled with the results.
Now, Ken, your parents in Stettler, you said your dad Bob was president of the Rotary Club. Your mom Audrey was Citizen of the Year in 1971. Obviously, wow. Yeah, well, hey, we can do some really good research here at the Chamber. I'll tell you that. But what were the big things that your parents laid down to you that you were able to take and put into your business and your personal life as well?
Well, yeah, there is one thing. My father was the local doctor. And one of the things he tried to teach me was, son, you've got to have people respect you. And I can tell you stories about, some great stories. I used to hunt and I'd go out in this farmer field and knock on the door to see if I could go shoot these geese. The guy would say, well, what's your name? And I'd say, my name's Ken Zender. And he'd say, are you Bob Zender's boy? I'd say, yep. He says, you can hunt wherever you want. My point being, I tried to, what I learned from my dad, I hope I put into my children, that whatever you do, you've got to be respected.
Let's go back to 1984. Like you said earlier, there was a time where, we're in a recession, you're starting a new business. There had to be times where you thought, what am I doing this for?
Well, we had some great customers, and I used to sell the heavy trucks out of Spruce Grove, and I can remember my one customer who's passed now. I'd phoned him up and went and got 2 trucks back so Ford Credit could count them so they wouldn't know that they were sold and we hadn't paid for them. But there were times that I can remember taking a car and trade and the next morning jumping into it, running in the city and selling it to a wholesaler for cash, come back so that we'd make payroll on the 15th and the 30th of the month. It doesn't happen that way now, but it used to.
Let's talk about some positive stuff here, Ken. You guys give back to the community so much. Your love for sports, you have your scholarship named after you. How cool is that you were able to obviously you have that much influence on the sporting community here in Spruce Grove. How did the scholarship all come to be, and how does that make you feel?
Well, that came from the football, the Cougars. Of course, the Cougar car, right? And one I was always sponsored and tried to support football. And of course, my partner at the time was the Denver Broncos, so that was a real big thing for him too. So we always tried to help the Cougars, and we also wanted to put our money to help younger people, the little soccer teams, the little baseball teams. Because they're the people that really appreciate it because their kids got a uniform or they got a place to play and they might come in and buy a car.
Let's talk a little bit about the changes of technology and how that has helped the car dealership industry, Chad. You guys did a tweet out, a promoted tweet that earned you like $57,000. This is something, and Ken, you've seen it from change, I'm sure, time and time again, no different than the radio industry. If you're in the business long enough, you see everything that happens. How has technology really made things maybe a little easier for the car selling business?
I would say, I'd say technology's made it more difficult. The whole, in our business, we call it the sales funnel. When a customer starts to look for something to when they actually buy, there's about 18 different digital touch points that they touch. So the challenge for us is to kind of be there at all the touch points. And that doesn't include phoning us or walking in and talking to us. It's just the digital side of the business. The marketing side with Twitter, I think we were one of the forefronts of that in about 2011, 2012. And to be honest, we didn't know what we were doing. We just figured we'd get going on this social network and see what can come out of it. We got a lot of positives from it. It is difficult to figure out the ROI, but Facebook and Twitter have evolved. Facebook's a huge part of our business for just getting out what we are into the local community. One of the challenges is always it's with Facebook and Twitter, especially Facebook. When you put something out there, you really don't know who's reading it. They've evolved to a model where they basically make you pay, which is why they make $18 billion revenue a year. And that's what we have to play in, so they do.
That is great. We want to thank again Frontline Financial for sponsoring this, and because they are the sponsor, Chad, can you give maybe what's your best financial advice maybe you could give somebody? In this time, you guys have been good with it, you're obviously very successful. what kind of financial advice could you give to anybody if they wanted to come up and ask?
Well, it's funny. I was a financial advisor before I got into the car business, and one thing I did realize is that the majority of people, their level of financial expertise isn't very high. So my best advice is to find somebody that knows what they're talking about and start saving money, start investing it, and just invest money if you can. But there's more to the financial game than just what you invest. You know, you have to have the proper insurance to protect yourself, especially the business owners, and you have to have a little bit of a long-term focus.
So that'll be $25 each for financial advice from Chad Zender. We'll collect that at the door on your way out. As we're going to wrap things up here momentarily, guys, before we get you to wrap things up here, words of wisdom. Can you impart any words of advice, something inspiring that entrepreneurs and fellow business people can take away and go, yeah, that's awesome. Some words of wisdom.
Words of wisdom, I mean, for entrepreneurs and business owners, just remember to enjoy yourself and enjoy the business and enjoy the day-to-day, because that's what it's all about. Enjoy yourself, and generally things come into kind of start working their ways out.
Ken?
Well, it's a local wisdom. Spruce Grove has just exploded in the last 4 or 5 years, and I think if I was a business owner in the area of Spruce Grove, which we are, just focus on Spruce Grove and do the best job you can for your customers, and you'll get a big benefit.
That's awesome. We really like to thank Ken and Chad for coming up here and being the first guests on Chamber on Tap. Thank you guys so much. It was a great pleasure to talk to you both.